Hello all! It's Terhi Koskinen here and I'm super thrilled to be here at Scrapbook Werkstatt to share my little mixed media mini book I made. I'm using Vicki Boutin All the Good Things line for this mini book, and I started all the project with these little frames and the dream word which were lying on my work table, and I had an idea that I will use these little old frames for a mini book, because these are so teeny tiny that you'll never have the actual photograph to put inside them. So I decided that they could be a fun layer behind the photographs, and as these are only made from white cardstock, I decided that I'm not going to paint them because it would be a bit hard, tricky even. So I added just embossing powder. This is silver glitter, I think, and it will give a bit thickness for the frames and also a beautiful shimmering look which I adore. And it will go perfectly together with the Vicki Boutin papers and embellishments, because they are so matte and there's nothing shiny about them, so this will be the balancing effect for them. My plan is to make a couple of tags which will be the pages for the mini book. I'm playing with the favorite papers I chose from the line, and I want to have them a bit thicker, and I also want to have them white from the other side to kind of calm down the whole mini book. So I'm just using double-sided tape and then adhering the patterned paper on top of the white cardstock. And then I'm going to use the simple die, tag shape die, which is super duper old. I have no idea where I got it and when. It's been like years and years. But anyway, I decided to use a couple of these dies and then just cut the whole thing with my little mini blossom cutting machine I got from Altinum. And that's it. The first sample wasn't that good because I should have added a little more paper between to make sure it will cut it all, but you will get the message, right? Just cut some tags, and if you don't have the kind of dies, then just cut it by your hand, it will be good. Once I was happy with all the pages, I decided that I will add something similar for each page. And in this project, the similar thing will be texture paste, which is from Heidi Swapp, and I love it. It's pink, it's gorgeous, it's shiny, and yeah, I do love it. This is the pink, I think, not rose, it's pink. Anyway, the stencil is also super duper old, from American Crafts. I think it was some older Amy Tangerine collection, if I remember right. Anyway, the idea is just to have a similar thing on each page, and it will balance, it will calm down these papers, and it will make it look the same on each page and focus your eye to the photograph. And I kind of like that there's something similar and something different on each page when I'm going through a mini book. And as you can see, I'm not adding the texture paste on the same spot of each page. I'm adding it some for the left side, some for up and some for down, and that way it will be fun. It will make something to catch a detail here and there, and it will be wonderful. Once I'm happy with all the stenciling, I'm of course cleaning my tools and putting the cork on top of the texture paste tube, because that's something that I could forget. I have forget, and it was not a good idea because the paste was so dry the next morning. Anyway, I decided that I want to have some embellishments, and again matching embellishments, and I couldn't resist to fussy cut all these flowers from the one of the papers which has had all these flowers. These are so amazing, and as said, I fussy cut them, and my use of scissors is not necessarily that perfect always, and I'm forgiving that for myself and using this black fat marker to color the edges. Of course, you could use ink. You could use any black ink, or well, black, because they had black details already on the flowers. But I'm going through all the edges to make sure that they are looking good, and my little mistakes with the cutting are hide it, so it's easy. But here you can see that I'm collecting everything together, what I'm going to use when I'm starting to make the pages complete. I always want to have everything in front of my eye, the photographs, the frames, the embellishments, here the flowers and this little butterfly. I'm going to do the same blacking for the butterfly, so it will look a bit better than with the white edges. But well, that's my opinion, and of course you can use it with white, but I want to have a little contrast for the book. As you can see, everything is so light. The papers I chose are quite light, even though they are fabulous. I absolutely love them. All the pink and the flower patterns and the teal green and the turquoise. I absolutely love this collection. But I want to have a little bit of contrast, so I'm having everything in front of me, and then I'm starting to think that how will I add this all together. I have some of the papers here, and I'm going to make a little bit of scraps, because you will always have to want a little layering behind the photographs, right? And as I said about having a little something similar on the pages, but a little something different on the pages, this goes with the paper layers too. I'm going to mix these similar patterned papers that I have on the background of each tag, but I'm going to mix, like the stripe one will be a background for the photo on the turquoise one, and the flower one will be the background for the photograph in the striped one, and this is how I will play all through the mini book. It will be the one thing that you probably won't think, but it will be also the one thing that I'm thinking when I'm looking the book, and that's the most important thing, because if you are crafting, you are probably crafting for yourself and for your own pleasure, right? At least I am, so you can do whatever pleases you the most. So I'm making, by the way, if you are curious about these photographs, they are all the same. That's my the youngest dog, and she was so gorgeous with that little tired look but happy look that the photograph was a success, I think. So I wanted to print it 4 times and make a mini book, because the one little photograph was so amazing. But before I attach the photographs, I'm going to add a little bit of mists for the background, just to add some splashes here and there, not much as you can see. I'm staying on the areas that there is the texture paste, because that's the place that I'm going to adhere the photograph to. I'm going in with pink and then with this mint green. This is also the Heidi swap line. I will add the links to the blog post and underneath this video so you can see what I used. But now I'm thinking about, okay, how will I organize this? I don't want to add two similar pages next to each other, and the stripe one will not be the first. Definitely not the first. And I also want to have the first one, first page only for the title, and then the rest for the photographs. So I'm just adding a few paper layers, a triangle and then rectangle, and maybe the frame, no, maybe more paper layers, and I'm going like this for all the pages. Ta-da! Simple as that. But before attaching everything, I'm just planning everything first, and before attaching I will add a bit of thread. That's something I always do. I know it's almost annoying if you watch a lot of my videos or a lot of my scrapbook pages. I'm sorry, this tag is almost invisible now. Ooh, better. Anyway, but the thread will give some softness. Is it softness? It will balance again. It will make a softer look for the page, and also it will be a nice little detail for the page. As I really adore the flowers from the Vicki Boutin paper, I decided that I'm not going to waste any of the flowers. I also cut the ones from the edges, and I'm adding these half flowers the way like here that part of it is underneath another paper or some way like that, and it will look like there would be tons of flowers. Another trick with this mini book is that as the photograph is the same in every single page, you can play a lot with that photograph. You can cover it partly in some pages, or you can even draw on top, add the title on top, add the journaling on top, because if you repeat the same photograph in each page, it will make a lot more interesting for the whole book if you have something to play with there. Like here, I added the bloom partly on top of the photograph, and I will do something not maybe similar, but kind of similar ways with the next pages. But now I'm just making the title first, and here we go. Nice little butterfly and the word dream, and some blooms. And before I'm attaching all these little pages together, I want to make sure that there is something shiny again, and these little pearls will do the trick. Here you can see how I added all the photographs. There's the frame on top of one, and well, the two of them are completely visible, but maybe I'll add some journaling on top. So this mini book is really easy to do, even though it might look like, oh my god, that's so much work, but no, it isn't. You'll just have these pages, these tags ready to go, some texture paste on top, some mist on top, and then some layering and the photographs. That's it. Super easy. And with the right products, of course, it's even easier, I think. That's why I love to use one collection to each mini book, because it's so super easy. You don't have to think about if the colors match or if the products match together. You just can play. It's all about having fun, right? So once I'm ready with the pearls, I'm saying thank you for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed this one. At least I had so much fun making this, and even more fun it is to hold in your hands and watch it. Oh my god, I'm so thrilled that I did this. So thank you Scrapbook Werkstatt for sending me the products, and like I said, I will add the links below this video, and thank you for watching. Bye!